everybody, Card Bandit here, and welcome to the third installment of Card Smarts. So what we're going to be going over today is the Muse cut, and this was a cut made by Henrik Forberg. Henrik, yes. I was trying to think whether it was Hendrik or Henrik, and I think it's Henrik. Henrik. I don't want to mess up the name. But it's made by Henrik Forberg. I will leave a link in the description box below to his channel and to the original tutorial for this move. I wanted to go over a brief verbal tutorial because someone was having trouble with the tutorial he put up just because it wasn't a verbal explanation. So I'm going to go over a brief verbal tutorial on the move, and then I'm going to get into some of the drawbacks, applications, where I use it, and why it's not a move that I commonly use. That being said, it isn't a move that I commonly use. That's why it might be a little bit rough, and he can do it way smoother than I can. So I just wanted to go over a little bit on that, and I just want you to keep in mind that by no means am I an expert on this move. I just want to give you my thoughts and what I think about the move. So that being said, that's pretty much it for the intro. Let's get into the rest of the video. So let's get into a little bit of a tutorial. To start off the Muse cut, you're going to be in a high straddle grip. From here, you're going to shift your middle finger over to the corner that it's closest to, and your thumb shifts back to the opposite corner. Using your thumb, you're going to break off a small packet of cards between 5 and 10. You're then going to shift, the middle finger slides a little bit back, and you're going to tilt your hand, and the larger portion of the deck gets clipped with the pinky finger and the ring finger, and you pull it over to the side. You want to try and keep your hand tilted down when you do it so the cards fall into the hand instead of falling out, because they can fall back outwards if you don't have enough of a grip with the pinky and the ring finger there. So I like to keep my hand tilted downward a little bit, and this will also help with the rest of the cut. From here, your index finger comes along the short edge and rotates that packet around, and your index finger comes up underneath. You then shift your thumb over a little bit while resting this packet on top of the index finger, so that way the thumb can pull and flip the packet over, which is what you're going to be doing next. So the thumb pulls and the index finger pushes up and curls over top, and at the same time you release with the middle finger. That's kind of hard to explain. So let's see whether I can do that again for you. Your thumb shifts over when you rest this packet on top of the index finger. You push up with your index finger, releasing with the middle finger, and then your index finger curls over top of your thumb. From here, you just release with your index finger, push up with your thumb so that the cards come together, and then you can bring the rest of the deck on top and you're done the Muse cut. One last thing that might help you when you're learning the cut is you can actually start in your straddle and then do a sort of like a Shirley cut to grab that small packet and then shift your fingers over. It just might make it easier to grab the packet size that you want before continuing on with the rest of the cut. So let's talk a little bit more about the Muse cut, some applications and things like that. The Muse cut is fundamentally a combination move. The reason that is because as you're doing the Muse cut in this hand, you're using all of your fingers in order to make the cut happen. So these two fingers are holding this packet, your index finger is pushing this card around, your middle finger and your thumb are holding that packet of cards. So you're using your whole hand in order to do the cut, and the fingers are moving around as you're doing that. So you can't really be holding another packet or have a contact, like packets contacting these fingers as they're moving around, because you're going to drop the cards. After that being said, it is really good for combination moves. So even though the Muse cut is fundamentally used for combination moves, there are still lots of variations and things that you can use it in. One of the most famous variations of the Muse cut is the judo flip by Franco Pasquale, I believe it is. Essentially what you're doing is starting off with the initial motions of the Muse cut, then you're just bringing it back around, repositioning and flipping that card over. So that is a really good example of a change to the Muse cut, but using the initial motions up. So even though that was a popular variation of the Muse cut can also be used, like I said, as a combination move. And so say you're doing something like this, where you're doing one thing in one hand, doing the Muse cut in the other. Once you're at sort of at this position where you flip the packet over, you can then steal that packet out and use it within a two-handed cut type of idea, or just continue on with a combination move like that. Another use for the Muse cut is once you've flipped it over, you can flip it back over and twirl it around. Now that was an application that comes from Zooey's clap and on his Spin God series, so you can check that out. But essentially from in Zooey's clap, what you're doing is you're doing a two-handed cut. From within the two-handed cut, you then go into sort of a combination move, clap the cards, and continue on with the cut. So it starts off as a two-handed cut, and then you go into some combination moves, which I thought was really cool, and I also think it's a really neat variation for the use of the Muse cut. So one of the combination moves that I'm working on involving the Muse cut is using the Muse cut in combination with Legolove by Nikolaj Pedersen, and that's on Dealer's Grip, and I'll leave the link in the description box below to that as well. So essentially I do the Muse cut while I'm doing Legolove, and as the cards are flipped over, that one card that's left from Legolove, I then go into the finisher for Galopette by AleksM on his Outbreak series, I believe it is. So anyway, that's sort of a combination move that I'm currently working on. And so as the card from Legolove flips over, that's when I flip over for the Muse cut. And I think it gives a really nice effect with really neat timing. And I just like how smooth it looks in the end, or how smooth I'm trying to get it. Alright, so those are pretty much my thoughts on the Muse cut. I know they're a little bit mismatched, but like I said, I'm not an expert on it, and I don't see a whole lot of places where I use it in. But that being said, having this cut brought to my attention sort of got me thinking about it and thinking about different aspects for it, and it's really great for combination moves and just the versatility and the different variations for it. It's a pretty neat cut that way. So that being said, I really appreciate you guys watching the videos. Please hit the thumbs up, it really helps me out, and if you did like the content, feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. Other than that, I really also want to get a conversation started in the comment section below about the cut, your variations, other variations you've seen of the cut, different uses for it, and a whole bunch of other stuff like that. If you like the cut, if you don't like the cut, I just want to see us get a conversation started in the comment section below. If you have a comment, please feel free to leave it. Alright guys, that's pretty much it from me. I just wanted to say thank you again for watching, and as always, I will catch you later.